Nelson from Holman Motor RV in Batavia, Ohio on State Route 32. Today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough on a retreat model made by Keystone. And the model number is 39CLDL. We're going to start at the front of your model, do the outside first, and then we'll do the inside. You have two propane tanks, and when this little green knob is turned to the tank, that's the one that it's operating off of. So right now this one's on and this one's off. They disconnect like a gas grill. They will not fill these when it's attached to the camper. You do have to remove them. There's a quick disconnect here in the center to take them off of the front end of the camper and take them somewhere to be filled. This is your cover for the LP tanks. Now, because you're not going to be regularly moving this particular model, it does have a hand crank tongue jack instead of the electric jacks. Your battery for 12 volt operation is directly behind the LP tanks. You have two slide outs in this particular model. The front slide out is for the headboard of the bedroom, and the large rear slide out is for the living area. You'll see that when we go inside. You have a compartment, storage compartment on the front, and it has some items inside of here for you. It has a temporary sewer hose. You may want to purchase additional better hoses than this, but this is to get you started. You have a hand crank here. Now these are for the stabilizer jacks. You have a stabilizer jack at each corner of this model. Now these are stabilizer jacks and not leveling jacks. So once you get your model, the camper, in a level position, then you can lower the stabilizer jacks to get all four corners stabilized. In the back are your attachments for your vacuum cleaner. You have a vacuum cleaner system built in. I'll show you that inside also, but your attachments are in this front compartment. Okay, underneath, it's marked here that this is for one of your gray tanks. So there's where the sewer hose would connect, and you pull that gray handle to drain this particular gray tank. Moving toward the back, we have, it's marked black tank and gray tank. Underneath, this is where you would connect your sewer hose, and the left handle is your black tank, so you would pull that handle first. The black tank contains all the toilet debris, so that contains your number 2s and your toilet paper. Once that's drained, you push the handle back in, then you pull the right handle, which is your gray tank, and that helps rinse out your sewer hose. This is the back end of your water heater. So this is the drain for the water heater. So it does have an anode rod on it, so each season you may want to replace this anode rod. They're only about $12 each. When you pull this out, you'll see corrosion. If it's corroded a lot, you'll want to replace it. If not, you may be able to get by with another season. You can notice that they did put white Teflon tape around the threads before they put it back in to make a good water seal. Your controls for this are in the inside. Now this will run off of electric or gas propane. While he puts that panel back on, underneath of here is, this is the back end of your propane furnace. So you have a gas furnace. There is a screen that you can buy that covers these holes to keep mud daubers from getting in and rodents from getting inside the camper. But that's just the back end of your propane heater. This is the stabilizer jack for the other corner. This right here is your cable hookup. So this is like running cable to your house. Once the cable goes into this spot, then all the jacks on the inside will work. This is your city water connection. So when you run a garden hose to this, you don't need to use your water pump. The only time you need to use the water pump as if you're using the freshwater holding tank. Now I do suggest buying what's called a 90-degree elbow for right here, so that the hose comes straight up to connect. If you put a hose sideways into here, when the hose heats up, it'll tend to bend and cut down on your water pressure. I also suggest a water pressure regulator. You connect that, you can buy the 90-degree that has it built in, or you can buy the two parts separately. You also have an outdoor shower. If you do your own winterization, don't forget to add this to your checklist, because if you don't put the pink RV antifreeze through this part of the system, this will freeze and break on you. So treat this as an inside sink. You have to winterize this as well. This is a black tank flush for your toilet. For your black tank, you would connect your garden hose on here, and before you turn it on, you want to make sure that your sewer hose is hooked up either at a drain site or your sewer connection at your campsite, and make sure that the black handle is pulled. Then you can turn on the garden hose to flush out your black tank. Now you do not have a ladder on this system, but you do need to get on the roof and inspect the roof the beginning and end of each season. Sun is your worst enemy that dries out the caulking. So you have a main seam across the back and a main seam across the front, and anything that's mounted up there has caulking. So make sure you inspect that for cracks. If it's cracked, we sell what's called Dicor, is the brand name. Dicor self-leveling caulking, and it comes in several different colors. I believe this one has a white roof, so you would probably want white for this one. If you have any cracks, put the caulk over those cracks, and the self-leveling kind fills in the cracks for you, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Under here, this is your other stabilizer jack, and you will also see a red and blue hose. That is your low point drain. The red is your hot water system, and blue is your cold water system. This side, you have tons of windows on this side. When we get inside, you'll notice that you have electric window shades for these windows. So you have a rear door with folding steps, and you have a sliding glass door at the front with folding steps. You have a full-length awning over top of those windows and doors. Now your outside speakers will be either zone 2 or zone B. The inside speakers are zone A or zone 1. You also have additional electrical outlets out here. At the far right front of the camper, this is your freshwater connection for your holding tank. So you simply remove this cap, put the end of your garden hose inside, and fill your freshwater holding tank with water. If you're not going to use this system, well, if you're using your freshwater holding tank, you do have to use the water pump, and I'll show you where that switch is inside. If you're not going to use this system, underneath you'll see a blue hose and a valve. That is the drain for your freshwater holding tank. If you're not going to use this system, go ahead and drain this tank. We're ready to go inside. Okay, you'll notice in this unit, this is the wall of windows we were talking about. You have a rear loft system, and in the back corner is the full-size bath, and you have an additional loft system with a spiral staircase that goes up to another large loft area, and in the front is your bedroom. So we're going to do the main panel first. When you open this cabinet, you have a main panel for all of your controls. So this is the water pump that I was talking about. Right now we have water in your freshwater holding system, so we are going to use the water pump to demonstrate the water. These two are for your water heater. You'll notice that it says LP gas, so this would be the gas system for your water heater, and this one is the electric for your water heater. This is a porch light, and this entire panel here is all lights. I have them all in the upper position right now. It doesn't tell you what they're for, but as you turn them on and off, you'll figure out what they're all for. The bottom panel is your slide outs and your awning. So this one isn't marked, but this is one of your slide outs, and this is the other slide out. So you have in and out. Now before you touch those, just make sure that there's nothing in the way of your slide outs to put them in or out. So if they're like, if one of the doors are left open, the slide out would hit it. So just make sure that those areas are clear before moving those slides in or out. The other one is for your awning retract and awning extend. And then up here we have your tank levels. So first of all, if we hit the battery button, all of the lights come on, so you're full. Your fresh water, right now we have 2/3 fresh water, and this is your black tank and your gray tank, and it shows that those are empty. Okay, you have a separate bottom panel, so these are for your shades. So you have an upper shade, they're marked upper shades and lower shades. So those are the shades for the windows over top. So what you do is you put the ones that you want to raise or lower, you flip on, and then you would hit this button to raise them up and this button to put them down. The one over the couch is also one of the ones that's an electric shades. That one's going up and down. So the one over the couch is actually number 6. Now turn that one off and turn these other lower ones. So now if we have these two in the on position, now we can hit down and the two lower shades go down. If we hit the up button, they go up. Now the two that are directly above that, so you got upper 1 and shade 2. So we have those two on and the rest of them off. So now if we hit those, you can see that they go up when holding the up button on, and down holding the down button on. So that's your electric shades for this model. So this whole panel is for your shades. Now you also have one marked here for TV lift. So if these are all turned off and the TV lift is in the on position, now if we hit up, you have what's called a televator. So now your hidden TV is going up now as we speak. I'm going to leave it up for the rest of this demonstration. So I've got the TV in the up position, so we'll film that when we go to the rear of the camper. But that's that control. So we've covered this panel, we've covered this panel. Now this box is for your ceiling fan. So I is for in operation, O is for out of operation. So that's your on-off button for it. Then you can change the speeds, and you have a reversal so you can change the direction of the blades, whether you want it to blow down or suck the air up. So that's your main control panel. To the right of there is we have your rear air conditioner. So right now we have it on, it's in the cool position. You have a fan option. You can move it to off, or you can move it to heat. And we'll demonstrate heat in just a second. Now this is, the right side is just your fan, and we've got it on high. And this is just a slide bar for your temperature settings. So if you're too cold, you just slide this button to the right until it turns the air off. It'll automatically kick on and off as the temperature raises and lowers. We'll flip this to off and we'll demonstrate the heat. When we turn on the heat, we'll have to slide this up high. Now behind the couch is actually where your furnace system is at. So when we turned it on, the first thing you hear is the fan turn on, and then you'll hear it click. That just clicked, So that is the ignition of the fire for your furnace. Now it's heating up a chamber. In that chamber, the fan will continue to blow through that chamber, and you actually have floor vents throughout the camper that the heat blows out of. There's one up here in the bedroom as well. Right there. So now when we turn the heat off, when we flip this switch to the off position, now the opposite will happen. So the flame will go out first, and now the fan will actually continue to run for another minute to 2 minutes to blow all the heat out of the ducts and into your camper system. Now we are currently plugged into 30 amp. You have a 50 amp plug, but we only have 30 amp here to demonstrate. Now with 30 amp, you can only run one air conditioner at a time. If you're plugged into 50 amp, you can run anything and everything on this camper. So we turn the heat off. That fan will stop in a minute. I'm going to turn the air conditioning back on. This is the rear air conditioner. And we'll demonstrate the kitchen next. You have a big pantry. 4 shelves and a floor. Underneath you'll see some 2x4s with some padded pieces. That is just to put above the slide outs when it's in the transport mode. So I left a sticker in your main panel to make sure that these are removed before you try to put the slide out. You have a full-size residential refrigerator. The bottom drawer is a freezer, and you have an ice maker. Both doors open at the top. You have a 2-stool bar at the end. A country sink. Now when the water's on, this can pull out, and you can change you have a choice of 2 different types of spray. Moving to your oven, you have a deluxe stovetop and oven. So we have lights here for the top panel and an oven light. To light these, there's no igniter. Each one has its own igniter. So when we turn this to high, it comes on. You can adjust and turn off. So when we first turn it on, you'll hear the clicking until it lights. You have to hold in on the button until it lights. Once it lights, you release the button and you can adjust the flames. Small burner in the back, and another large burner in the front. Now for your oven is the center button. So you have 2 stovetop burners on the left, the other 2 are on the right. On this particular model, the center one is for your oven. Now you do have to light a pilot light. So you turn this to the flame and hold it in. Now there's a little grate at the bottom that you'll see the pilot light light. And then when you turn it to the flame, your entire burner is underneath of this, so it's not an exposed burner. So you can see the flames on, you can see the blue flames on underneath that grate. That's it for the stove. You have a residential microwave. You have an additional fan and light underneath. You have a couch, wraparound couch. Now there's nothing you have to remove to move the slide out in or out. You'll notice that there's wheels underneath. So this part of the couch this part of the couch will automatically slide in when you do the slide out. As part of your entertainment center, we left the TV up on your televator. You also have a sound system. The sound system, you hit the power button, and this one goes A and B instead of the 1 and 2. So we're on 94.1. So A is zone A is inside, zone B is outside. You also have a remote for that sound system. You have a remote for your smart TV. And you have a remote for your fireplace. They did not include any AAA batteries, so I can't demonstrate your electric fireplace, but you have a power switch, and then you have a flame button that you can change the colors of the flames, and once you turn on the heat element, you can turn this one on to adjust the temperature, and you also have a sleep timer. And most of them go 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and so on, up to either 8 or 9 hours for your sleep timer. This is your back door. We'll do the loft next. So you have a rear loft. Notice that the maximum load capacity is 800 pounds for this loft. So you have a light switch here, and an electrical outlet. You have an additional AC unit at the top. I'll show you where those controls are in just a moment. So you actually have 3 air conditioning units on this model. One in the back over the loft that feeds into the bathroom. Now all the vents at the top, all the white vents, are from your AC. So even if you just use one AC, you can still feel cold air coming out of all the white vents in the ceiling from front to rear. The more air conditioners you add, the stronger that the airflow will be. So you have a rear air conditioner over the back loft. You have this center air conditioner that's currently on. Then you have one up in the bedroom as well. The control for that loft air conditioner is just outside of the bathroom door. Now you notice this one does not have an option for heat. The only one that controls your heat is the one I demonstrated up by the front main box. This is just for the air conditioner or a fan that's over the rear loft. When we go into your rear bedroom, you've got 2 individual sinks, a large shower, a toilet, and right now this is a large closet. But if you want to add a washer dryer, right there is your hookups for your washer and dryer. Now your ground fault outlets are also back here. So you have 2 GFI resets if you have any problems with any of your electrical outlets. On your toilet, if you barely touch the pedal, it fills the commode with water for you. So now it's just like your toilet at home. You can do your number 2. When you're done, if you push the pedal all the way to the floor, it opens up that valve and everything goes into your black tank. This is also where you would add your chemicals to break down the toilet paper and human waste. This brown vent on this side of the toilet is your heating vent for this room. Notice you don't have a floor vent in here. That is your vent for your heater. You have an additional ground fault reset in the bathroom. You have 2 switches here. One is for the light and the other one is for a fan. And you don't have to raise or lower a cover on this one. It's automatic. It's vented so that the rain won't come in. So that's your fan and light switch for the rear bedroom. Going back up toward the front, oh, this is your propane carbon monoxide detector. It has a small green light at the bottom, so it will always be on. Okay, we have a front loft. It has a spiral staircase that goes to the front loft. And this is a large one. You have a center button there for lights in here and 3 pads to sleep on. And in this corner you also have a spot for a television. It's marked for your TV backer, and it has your cable and electric. This is your built-in vacuum cleaner system. This is where your attachments would plug into. That's your on-off switch. And then if you pull slightly, that's where the bags are. So you will have to order some bags. These are very small bags, but that's how you change your bags. This is your electric box. If you press the top button, this panel opens up. You have circuit breakers, just like your circuit breaker panel at home. These are your 12-volt fuses, and it's marked on the side what they're for, and it's also marked what your circuit breakers are for. Now this was the controller we talked about earlier that had the heat and the AC on it. Now inside the bedroom, this is where we have the control for the other air conditioner. So it's only for AC only. On-off switch for your lights, your king-size bed. That head area is the part of your slide out that goes out. You have built-in chest drawers in the front. And a full-size hanging closet with a shelf. Do have some storage under the bed as well. Now this is front storage, and then if you notice, right there's your attachments for your vacuum cleaner system. So that goes to the panel from the left front of the camper that we opened up earlier to show you the inside. That concludes our walkthrough of this unit. I hope you enjoy your camper. Thank you.